Here we are under the car, so starting at the front driver's side, with the, you can see in fact some of the not very nice repair on the fiberglass there, and it's had a replacement front valance. That's all hand laid. In fact, yeah, you can see sort of rough looking fiberglass up in that top corner. I don't think it's had a replacement front end. I think it's just had repairs done and it's all gone a bit awry. So what have we got here? So the front cross member, there's some rust splitting apart those seams, and it's also bent this side. It's a shame really, because it's not really rotten through or anything, which they often are. Well, certainly doesn't look at this stage, but it is all bent out of shape, so we're not going to use that. And you can see this front, where that front sway bar is, how badly bent out of shape it is there as well, and all up in that top. Trouble is I can't point because I'm holding the camera and the torch, but I'll show you this when the body is off proper and you'll see what I mean. But it's all very, very out of shape here. Not as bad on this side, but there is definitely some history there, you know, and the radiator's hitting the anti-roll bar and what have you, so it's all not too sharp. Brakes we're going to redo, we know about that. Same with A-arm bushes, this, that and the other, and obviously you'll get new fuel and brake lines as a matter of course. All a bit Mickey Mouse, holding the lower shock mount in there, you know, with nuts and bolts. It should be bolts going up the other way with captives. A-arm bush is a bit cracked. What else have we got? A bit leaky around the power steering valve and a little bit around the ram as well. What else? Let's have a look. Engine mount bolts are in back to front, so now you wouldn't be able to take the engine mount bolt out without taking the fuel pump off. Not very nice. Plug leads all over the shop. Usual thing. Transmission is very, very leaky, and that's been regularly dumping its load all over the floor, all the time, so that will want, you know, full gaskets and everything. I mean, chassis looks quite good up to this point, doesn't it? But then when you start getting towards the rear and you see there the two skins blowing apart and some fracturing in the metal, some rust holes coming, and then you go back onto the rear cross member where it's through there, and if you look up through there, how well that will show, you can see where it's blowing through the side rail, or blowing through into the side rail, so that's all rotten. It's also quite thin, this rear cross member, and the same on the driver's side, so you can see where it's through there and there, and when you look in, you can see where it's going through into the side rail. So it's the problem being, to replace this diff cross member is monstrous work. You know, it's both rear chassis legs off, and the cross member off the side rails as well. Then you got to repair the side rails. It's all doable, but it's massive work and labour intensive. I think it might be more cost effective to get another chassis for it, but we'll see what it's like when it's actually off. There's also been some big weird reinforcement put in there between the frame and the rear spring. I don't know what the thinking behind that is. Drag racing maybe. And then, I mean, nothing really. The trailing arms look a bit scruffy. Rear spring is no good. That's had extra washers put in there, look, to try and get the ride height back up. So we'll deal with all of that. That cross member up there, that looks alright, you know. Yeah, so I think all very standard up to there. Fuel tanks had a coat of restoration paint on the bottom, but the rest of it looks pretty scruffy, so we'll make a judgment on that when it's out. So there you are, that's our findings up to now. Excuse me. So we're about ready to lift. I've got to take the front wheel off, and I've got one bumper bracket which was proving a bit stubborn, so I need to get all medieval on that, and then that can come off. We've got a bust brake line on this side, and that's been replaced with a, I hate these joining things. What a half-assed thing to do that is. Just Yeah. So there you go. That's where we're at now. So maybe this afternoon or perhaps in the morning we'll lift the body off this and I'll give you a shout and then you can come and have a look-see. I've just noticed that body mount, look at that body mount reinforcement there has sprung away from the body completely, and that's a shame. That just got a bit bigger then. Yeah, same on that side, look, that's coming away as well. Old Corvettes, eh Brian, who'd have them? So there you are. Never fear, we will prevail and make this old girl lovely again. So it's not all doom and gloom. So there you are. I'll do a bit more. We'll get the body off now and then see what we've got, and I'll give you a shout and come and have a look-see, and we'll make a plan. Take care.